All right, what you see here is a Mainstays hugger ceiling fan. And yes, I got it back up for the next phase of it being outside, which is phase 2. It's been a while since I showed it. It's been a good 8 months. And no, this is not the fan being out there for the past 8 months. This is literally the fan 2 months after I filmed that video in terms of the condition it's in. I've had it inside since, and the reason why I haven't been able to get a video of it for all this time is because the motor was locked up, so I couldn't show it running. However, a neighbor, the ones that I gave that Hunter Bridgeport to for that sunroom, he was able to free up the motor, so I'm very thankful for that. As he had a vice grip, so we were able to loosen it up, and now it spins again, and it works. I could tell that the fan was still working because when I plugged it in, it still vibrated, just it wouldn't spin. But we were able to get that issue fixed, so now I can show it to you guys again and continue the experiment. So this is phase 2. So it's been outside technically for about a good 5 or 6 months now. But by the time you're seeing this, it's been inside for almost a good 4-ish months now because I haven't been able to do anything with it in terms of testing wise. So I didn't want it to progress any more than it already was because I wasn't able to film it in this phase. But as you can see, a lot has happened to it since I last showed it to you guys. One of which being is that the paper overlay on the blades have peeled off a lot. This one here barely has any left. And there's only some left on the tip. This one has lost a lot of it as well, but there's still a decent amount there. And this one still has a decent amount at the end as well. And as for the top sides, this one still has quite a bit on it. And this one barely has anything. This one still has a decent amount, and this has almost nothing as well. The blade arms have gotten pretty rusted, grimy. They've been outside for a while as well. But the next time you see it, a lot of the paint will probably be gone from the blade arms. The screws for the blade arms are still rusted. The screws that are holding the blades in are just one screw each because it's how the blades are and how fast it goes. It doesn't need all 3 screws to hold them in. I'm not leaving those outside because I don't want them to get stripped and then I can't get the blade off if I need to and such. Because when I'm keeping this fan outside now, I'm not keeping it assembled like I used to. Well, except for the blades being attached to it. I used to keep it with the motor housing attached to them. Basically, I would have the whole motor assembled except for the blades and the glass. But the problem is some of the screws were getting stripped, so some of these screws are actually not the original ones, but I left them out there just so they get rusted just like the other ones were. So that's the only things I've really changed on it. And the screws for the motor housing are from another mounting bracket. That's why it's not rusted. And the original mounting bracket on this is also too rusted to the point that I couldn't get it off. So I had to actually cut it off with some of the original screws for the mounting bracket. So that's why that's not rusted. Because that was kind of the reason why it was tricky for me to get it to free up. So we had to cut off the original mounting bracket and such. So that way we could free up the motor because there was no way to get a good grip on the motor with the motor housing still in the way. But as you can see, the motor housing as well has taken a lot of rust, especially where the vents are. But on the top, it's really severe as well. And it's like that around the whole thing, as you can see. But yeah, and the pull chains, they're not really rusted, they're just more corroded looking, not as shiny. The pull chain knobs right there, those have gotten a bit corroded looking. The light still doesn't work, and I'm not gonna fix that because if this fan was outside, like the way Cole Semenko, better known on YouTube as Vintage Fans and More, had his installed out there years ago, the Littleton, the light wouldn't work on it at this point anymore either. So since that was the case of how this one was being installed, the light wouldn't even work anyways at this point. So I'm leaving it like that for that reason. But yeah, let me go ahead and start off on low. Pull chain has gotten a bit stiff, which I'm not surprised. It is to be expected. So this is phase 2. I will be posting other phases of it after I put it back outside for a bit. Now, this does honestly cause a delay, as I was supposed to be wrapping up this experiment right around now, going into next month. But because the motor was locked up for some time, I had to put a pause on the experiment. But I know a lot of people have been wanting to see the update of it, and so here it is. I wasn't going to test anything today because it was raining out, but I figured, I've been meaning to test this one, do the update on it, and I figured maybe go ahead and do it because it's been outside in the rain anyway, so I don't really care for any background noises. It's just for the experiment. Plus the fan's so loud with the bearing noise, so it doesn't really, the sound outside doesn't really affect it. Yeah, and such in terms of like the video and all that. If it was a fan that I wanted to show how quiet it was, that was a different story, but this fan's not quiet in any means necessary, so yeah. Now the globe is not loose, it's just the fan vibrating. However, there is one screw that I did not tighten on it, and that's because it's too locked up in place, and if you use like a little wrench and try to loosen it up, it just does not get a grip on it. And I don't want to force it to the point where I break the screw off it. And then it just looks strange with that one piece missing the screw head. The other two still loosen up a bit. But for right now, I'm leaving that third one alone, which is the one that's closest towards me, facing towards my direction. But yeah, right after this video and the no commentary, and I move to one that's going back outside, as it's raining right now and it's supposed to snow a bit, so we'll be getting some snow. We got some earlier this past week or so, but it was very light, only an inch, whereas we're gonna get a decent amount, like 3 inches or so. So I figured this will be a good time to put it back out there, but also film it in this phase before I do that. And the glass has not been outside. I've been keeping that inside. It's just dirty looking because as I was putting it up, some of the rust around it's gone all over the place, especially in my hands and such. So that's why the globe looks like that. But at least with it being like that, it looks like it's been outside as well in some ways. I just don't want to leave the glass outside because the last thing I need is for that to shatter and then have glass all over the driveway. Surprisingly, it still runs pretty well, like in terms of speed. I'm feeling very little air still, surprisingly, despite the blades being in the condition they're in. All right, now for medium. But yeah, from what I was going to do is just do like a year worth of it being outside. I will do like a 1 year of it being outside, but I was thinking of stopping it at that point. But I'm thinking, maybe just keep doing phases on it until it just stops running all together. Just I feel like that would be even more of it's worth. And plus, since I've delayed it for so long due to it being locked up, I figured it would make up for it. Originally, it was supposed to be like 4 to 6 phases of it at most, or 5, including the year, like the 1 year of it being out there. But I figured I might as well just extend it just to the point of it not running anymore, just for the heck of it. Because otherwise, I'm not gonna have any other use for it. So I figured I might as well just keep doing the experiment on this fan until it's not usable anymore. The air movement of it on this speed is honestly almost no different than what it was doing on the low speed. But I mean, it is a mainstay, so I'm not surprised. So yeah, now for the high speed. On camera, it looks like it's going really fast, and all honestly, it's not flying on a high speed, but it's definitely it's going fast for the condition it's in. But it's not going so fast to the point where I can't see the blades and such. On camera, it looks like it's going so fast that it's having trouble keeping up with speed. It is not like that in person. And now, I figured I'd mention now before I even do spin out or anything. In terms of it being shown in reverse, I honestly don't think I'll be able to, because the reverse switch is stuck on the downdraft position, and I don't want to like force it to go in reverse and then get it stuck where I can't even show it running. So I'll try, but no promises. Surprisingly, I'm feeling a decent breeze from it, but it's nothing impressive, honestly. But for the condition it's in, I'm actually surprised it's even moving this much air with how the blades are and such. Alright, now we spin down. Yeah, that reverse switch is not going to go up, so I'm not going to try to do it because I don't want to break it and then have it where I can't even show it. Because if that thing breaks off, I'm going to have to change the reverse switch, and I'm not trying to do that. Now let's see how long it takes for it to spin down. Now, since the fan's been freed up, the thing that I think was used in this was pblaster. And that's something that helps with, like, it's kind of like WD-40 but stronger, and it works better with stuff that's rusted up. I think that's what he used in this to help loosen it up. I'm not sure how much he sprayed into it, so I'm not sure how much that's going to affect the spin down of it lasting longer than it should, technically. Well, it doesn't seem like it's going to, once it's about to stop anyway, so yeah. Yep, and it stopped. So, yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos to come.